Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. Another trading week has come and gone, one of the busiest weeks of the year, with a plethora of companies releasing their financial results. More than likely, I think the last trading week of August won't be quite as busy because if it is, it's going to be one busy week. Now, I love these sort of weeks because I do write down every single company that releases their financial results, and I have one page here that is covered with TIG codes of companies I want to have a look at. Well, not companies themselves, but just their financial reports. And I will be going through most of these, not all of them, but most of them. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be looking at interesting announcements from companies that were released during the week that are not financial reports. Now, you might notice here that I am on the Bravura Solutions ComSec page, and you might notice the share price is up 44% today. So this company actually did release their financial year 23 results. And this is a perfect example of don't bring your bias, your perceived perception of the results into your decision making. Because if I did that, I would have sold Bravura Solutions on open at 50 cents because I did not think they were good. In fact, I was thinking, well, maybe I should sell straight away because these results look pretty bad. And in fact, the share price opened at the previous day's close, and the share price actually fell in the first few minutes down to 49 cents. So can you just imagine selling Bravura today at 49 cents only to see the share price rise from 49 cents to 72 cents? So I'm going to have a closer look at these results. Why didn't the market absolutely love these results? On first glance, nothing really to like there, but that's on first glance. And sometimes first glance can be deceiving. So there must be something in these results, and more than likely it's the outlook from the company that has the market excited. Maybe the market's just excited because they met expectations and guidance. So that's all it is. So the whole point of me doing today's video is not to focus on companies that release their financial year results. I might do a standalone video on Bravura because share price up 44%. And this could be a turnaround story. Now, for full disclosure purposes, I sold my trading position in this company at close. That could be a foolish thing to do, but I'm always going to take a 44% rise in one day and take profits, particularly for companies I don't think are high quality. And Bravura Solutions, at this point in time, you cannot describe this company as high quality. They were loss-making, and they did burn through a fair bit of cash in financial year 23. And more than likely, that's going to continue into financial year 24. It's not until financial year 25 where they might be back to profitable. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I think the road to recovery, the road to the turnaround story is a long one for Bravura. Now, the first company I want to talk about in today's video is a company I mentioned in yesterday's video that I released on 24th of August, and that is Costa Group. So my video on the 24th was supposed to be dedicated to companies that release their financial results. And then I got to Costa Group, and then I realized this is not financial year results. In fact, it's a postponement of financial year results. So a trading update and postponement of first half calendar year 23 results. So this is not positive. Straight away, postponement is not good news. The other thing to mention here is there is a takeover offer for this company from Payne Schwartz Partners. And I think the market is a little bit skeptical that this takeover bid is going to go through just based off the market reaction, just based off the fact that the share price fell 10% on the day. Now, this is an agricultural company. If you don't know what Costa Group, they sell fruit, mostly fruit, citrus, berries, that sort of thing. And this is a hard business, a really, really hard business. Things go wrong all the time. Weather, pests, demand, in fact, for any sort of fruit. And that's exactly what has happened in the last few weeks or few months. So they mentioned here in the second point, there has been a deterioration in the outlook for later season quality across our citrus category, which is going to cost this company about $30 million, together with softening in consumer demand within the tomato category. Now, tomatoes are the healthiest fruit you can eat. So why is demand for tomatoes on the down? Should be on the up. I just read that today, that they are the healthiest fruit, which makes sense. Anyway, so these are both expected to impact on the full year results. So we don't know what that impact is just yet because Costa Group don't know. They also mentioned here in the third point that Payne Schwartz Partners have been advised of this trading update, and that the discussions with PSP are continuing. But again, I think the market is a little bit skeptical that this acquisition will go through, and maybe Payne Schwartz Partners doesn't want Costa Group anymore. So when you do look at the chart for Costa Group, you can see the share price pop up on the 4th of July. This was the takeover bid. Share price increased 12.8%. Then share price went sideways. And typically you see that sort of share price action after an acquisition or takeover bid has been announced. Share price usually goes sideways or up a little bit, not much at all. And the very fact that the share price did drop 10.8% upon the release of this trading update, and the share price has gone back to the levels it was before the takeover bid, makes me think that the market is a little bit skeptical whether this takeover bid will go through. But if it does, a nice little premium. And the other thing is, even if it does, maybe PSP will decrease their price they want to buy Costa Group, and then maybe Costa Group will say that's okay because of this trading update. So that's all I want to talk about Costa Group. Now on to a positive announcement. Premier Investments, a company I actually have owned in the past. I don't know why I don't own it anymore. And I would say this is one of the highest quality retail companies on the ASX, particularly when you talk about Smiggle and Peter Alexander. They also have Just Jeans and a few other crappy retail brands. But if they spun out Smiggle and Peter Alexander, I think that could be the highest quality company on the ASX. There would be an argument there. But in itself, Premier Investments, combined all these different brands, is one of the highest quality companies, highest quality retail companies on the ASX. And Premier Investments, probably the worst named company as well. Premier Investments released a trading update on the 21st of August, the Monday. And it was positive. We know it's positive because I read it and it looked positive. But we know it's positive because the market reacted really well. So let's have a look at the chart first. So sometimes when you see a company has released a trading update and then look at the chart and just see the share price going higher, straight away you know it was positive. So the share price increased 12.2% on the Monday, and then a further 4.6% on the Tuesday. Now the chart is fairly volatile over the past 2 years, up and down. A nice floor at the share price at just under $19.50. Time to buy Premier Investments was back in June. I did not buy Premier Investments, and share price is now on an uptrend again. And then share price has to get above about $28 to get above these old highs we saw at the start of 2023. Whether it can do that, who knows? So this was a positive trading update from the company. Sales up. This is to the end of 29th of July 2023. Sales up 9.7% on financial year 22. EBIT up between 6 and 6.6%. Actually, no, this is the financial year 23 EBIT. They expect it now to be up between 6 and 6.6%, and they expect it to be up over 110% on financial year 19 EBIT. Retail companies are still comparing their financial year 23 to financial year 19. I don't think that's really fair. That's 4 years ago. I do understand why they're doing it, because that's pre-COVID. But we're now in the point where I don't think you can do that, because 4 years is a lot of time, and most companies should be growing over a 4-year period. Not all companies. Anyway, and they do here. They completely ignore financial year 20 and 21. They go straight from financial year 19 to financial year 22. And in fact, you might even argue that because we've seen heightened retail spending in the last few years, there's a chance financial year 24, the sales for premium retail might drop significantly to go back to the long-term trend. You could argue that. Anyway, companies still do that. We're comparing their results to financial year 19 because it does look good, up 112% on financial year 19. So a good trading update from Premier Investments, and the market responded likewise. So in fact, I saw this trading update and I went, oh, if the market doesn't respond that well, I might take a position, and then share price up. Was it 12%? So again, yeah, 12.2%. I was like, ugh. The other thing I was thinking of doing is just trading this. 1 hour chart looks really good as well. This is a beautiful uptrend, the 1 hour chart. I was waiting for any sort of dip in the share price after that first hour. We did not see it. We did see a little bit of a dip yesterday, but I didn't see the dip that I want to see to take positions in companies after they release positive trading updates. So it's Premier Investments. Now on to a negative announcement from company Elders, which is another agricultural company And the share price down 10.8% on Monday, the 21st of August, because they did release an announcement called Profit Guidance. Whenever I see an announcement titled Profit Guidance, I get excited straight away, because these are the most powerful types of announcements, whether it's profit upgrade or profit downgrade. Sometimes it's an announcement saying, well, we're going to meet our guidance, which is sort of boring, but profit upgrades or profit downgrades are the most powerful type of announcement. And the reason why is because when guidance is changed, analysts redo their numbers. And that's why sometimes you will see the share price of a company drop or rise 30% or even higher on a profit upgrade or downgrade, because the numbers have changed. The expectations have changed. So straight away, we know, I think I've already, did I say the share price dropped 10% or something? So share price dropped 10%. So straight away, we know this is a negative announcement from the company. So let's have a look at the chart first. Now, the share price of Elders has in a long-term downtrend. It's been a downtrend since really start of 2022. In fact, the share price has more than halved from $15 all the way down to $6.50. If the share price falls below $6, it's $6.48 right now. That will be fairly bearish, because that's the lows we saw back in June of this year. So share price in a downtrend, no reason to get excited about this company unless you think there's value. And to be fair with you, I don't or would not consider Elders to be a high quality company, because again, the performance of this company is going to be heavily influenced by weather and that sort of thing. Now let's have a look at their profit guidance announcement. So this is the definition of a profit downgrade. And they talk about EBIT, which is still profit. And they now expect EBIT to be between 165 and 175 million. Before that guidance was 180 to 200 million. So this is the very definition of a profit downgrade. Then they talk about why there is this profit downgrade. They sort of go through this in 3 points. But the thing I want to, and they talk about prices of cattle and sheep, pressure on rural product gross margins, lower than forecast rural product sales in recent weeks. But they then also talk about climate, which is very important here. So Elders experiencing cautious customer sentiment in light of uncertain seasonal conditions in some farming regions compared to forecast assumptions. This uncertainty is now supported by the BOM long-range forecast for September to November, which predicts a heightened probability of warmer and drier than average conditions in eastern and western parts of Australia. So all of Australia. And risk of an El Nino declaration. So more than likely we will, or the BOM, I should say we, because I actually do work for the BOM, and the BOM will eventually declare an El Nino like the rest of the world. They're being a little bit more cautious. I understand they want to be a little bit more cautious. Now, just because we will more than likely go into an El Nino doesn't necessarily mean we will 100% will have a drier and warmer summer than usual. It's all based off probability, but more than likely we will have a drier and hotter summer. Now that will positively affect some companies and negatively affect some companies. More than likely it will negatively affect Elders, positively affects a company like Select Harvest. And so it all depends on the company and how it affects it. So I have no interest in Elders. The chart looks absolutely horrible at this point in time. And again, this is one of those type of companies where what they're doing is tough. It's tough. Look, what they do, this is true for all farmers. You have to like what you have. We have to congratulate them because they're doing something really tough. It's not a kind way to live. Apart from if you're the CEO of Elders, you're probably getting a really good pay packet. That's a completely different story. Next company I want to talk about is Chrysos Corporation. So I only own 2 companies that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Bravura, which I've already talked about, and this company, Chrysos. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing this company right. Down 3.5% today. The reason I want to include this company in today's video is because even though this company went to a trading halt on the 16th of August, the reason this company went into a trading halt was because the share price was rising on no news from the company. And the ASX doesn't like that. The ASX likes to only see share price rise because of news flow from the company. So Chrysos did receive an ASX price and volume query. And typically a price and volume query has 3 parts to it. The first part is a question about whether the company has not released any price sensitive information that could explain the price movement in the company. Typically, 98% of times, a company will answer no to that. If a company answers no to that, they don't have to answer Section 2. They can go straight to Section 3. Section 3 is a question about whether there's any other explanation on why the share price is moving higher or lower without any news flow. Now, typically, Section 2 is not answered because most companies answer no. And Section 2 is, what is that information that you have not released to the market that could explain the rise or drop in share price? Now, Chrysos went into a trading halt on the 16th of August, which in itself is a little bit surprising because a lot of times companies won't go into trading halt in regards to a price and volume query. And then they did release their reply in time to be suspended. So they were suspended on the 18th of August, and then, which is the Friday, and then on the Monday, they did release their response to the ASX price query. And this is, in my opinion, a really interesting reply from the company. I'm not sure. It was a touch confusing for me because in Section 1, when most companies say no, they actually responded with, the company confirms it is aware of non-public information which could affect its share price. This information is disclosed in paragraph 2b below. However, for the reasons also stated in paragraph 2b below, the company does not attribute the recent trading in its securities to this information. So they actually answered yes to Section 1, which means they have to answer Section 2. If they said no to Section 1, they could go straight to Section 3. Then they have two parts to Section 2. Part A, which I'm not going to talk about because it's just waffling on about what the company's doing. And I agree. As a shareholder, I love this company. I think this company has massive potential. They don't have to sell the company to me. But Section 2B is supposed to be their explanation on the reasons why the share price is rising. And that reasons are supposed to be information, price-sensitive information that the company has not released. And I don't think they actually did that because at the end of this, they said, in any event, they actually said in the first bit, the company confirms that this response contains all the materially price-sensitive information, blah, blah, blah. And then right at the end, they say, in any event, the company attributes the price movement referred to ASX letter to its recent announcements, which include its recent quarterly report presentation on the 27th of July, in which their revenue and EBITDA for financial year 23 were confirmed to have been achieved. Now, that is in their prospectus, and positive guidance for financial year 24. Now, this is past information. This is not information they have not released to the market. They have released this information. The second point here is Australian Super confirming that he had acquired a substantial holding in the company. And that was an announcement released on the 7th of August. Again, this information has already been released to the market. So I'm not sure what they're talking about here. This is sort of information that belongs in Section 3, which is not applicable because they've answered Section 2. The company they also mentioned here, the company believes these announcements have resulted in a significant uptick in broker activity, which in turn explains the momentum in the company's share price. So again, that does not belong in Section 2. It belongs in Section 3 because there's no information, the price-sensitive information, the company has not released. Now, maybe if I go through this in finer detail, maybe there is something here. But yeah, it's a confusing reply from the company. But again, anyway, again, I like this company and the chart looks absolutely beautiful. The valuation of this company is getting a bit up there. I was thinking of taking profits. So market cap is almost $600 million. And this is a beautiful chart, particularly from the start of 2023. Share price has more than doubled from $3 all the way up to $6.27. So the only thing I'd probably say negative in regards to Chrysos Corporation is volume. I'd like to see higher volume than what we're seeing over the past month. And that's the other thing. Typically, when a company receives a price and volume query from the ASX, it's price going up on higher volume. We're not really seeing that with Chrysos. Anyway, beautiful. I have done a video on this company, so if you want more information on Chrysos Corporation, look out for that video. Now it's a Wisr. This actually is sort of interesting. Now, I was umming and ahhing about whether to include Wisr. So share price up 13% today, but that's not the reason I'm doing featuring Wisr in today's video. On Monday, they declared they have terminated the CEO, which his name is Anthony Nantes, and the chair takes leave of absence. And their explanation is why they have terminated him. Well, I'm going to assume some stuff here. In the last paragraph, they mentioned that they're aware that Anthony Nantes is a subject of criminal proceedings brought by New South Wales Police. I think that's probably a main reason, but they actually didn't say that flat out. They confirmed that his termination was not occasioned by any financial irregularity or regulatory contravention, and the company continues to conduct business as usual. They just they had the view, the board, that he was not able to perform the role of CEO to the level required by the board, and maybe that's because there is criminal proceedings brought by the New South Wales Police against him. Now, share price of a company can go either way when this sort of thing happens to the CEO. And it all depends on what the shareholders in the market thinks of that CEO. So if you see the share price absolutely plunge, that means the market thought highly of the CEO. If the share price doesn't do anything or the share price goes up, the market actually loves that the CEO is terminated. And just based off the chart, share price has been dropping forever for Wisr. So more than likely, I thought this could be good news for the company, that the shareholders wanted some new blood into the company, wanted a new CEO because of what's happening with the share price. And to be fair with you, share price did nothing. The market didn't really react. Share price was down a little bit on the day. Share price flat the next 3 days and then up 13.3% on Friday. So hopefully most shareholders think this is actually a good thing moving forward for Wisr. If you are a shareholder of this company, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this change in CEOs or the termination of the CEO. Now onto Bird Dog Technology. What did they release? Oh yeah, enters MOU, which is Memorandum of Understanding with global medtech company Phenox. I've never heard of Phenox. And this was a company I do have on my watch list. So I have a read of this announcement. I don't think I've done I might have done one video on Bird Dog Technology. They own or they sell video technology that enhances resolution, speed, and flexibility of video through a range of software-led solutions, augmented with NDI network device interface. So the main thing I'm looking for when it comes to Bird Dog Technology is their quarterly reports. I want to see revenue increasing. I want to see the company hit this in a very important inflection point. And that means to me that this company probably is a little bit cheap right now, I would assume. The share price has been going down. Now, I haven't looked at this company for a while. Share price has dropped a lot. So market cap of this company is down to 28.6 million. Now, revenue flat from last year to this year. Now, financial year 21 to financial year 22. So I want to see a bit of an uptick in revenue. I don't think the company has released their financial year results yet. In fact, on the 21st of August, they announced they're going to be releasing them on the 29th of August. So it'd be really interesting to see how this company is performing. Now, these type of announcements, memorandum of understanding with the company, I don't really react to. I don't think they're that powerful. Now, some investors might disagree with me, but I have seen a lot of these MOUs come to nothing. So, and it seems like the market didn't really care. Share price up 7.7% on the 22nd, no trading on the 23rd or 24th. So the shares in this company are illiquidly traded right now. So Bird Dog Technology. Now the share price does look like maybe it's starting to consolidate. So I've just put this onto my watch list just to follow, just to see if this company can hit that very important inflection point. Now to a company I know nothing about. 4DS Memory. So why am I talking about 4DS Memory if I know nothing about them? Just have a look at the trade history of this company. So share price up 22.7% today. On the 24th, down 12%. On the 23rd of August, up 89.4%. 18th of August, up 32%. 17th, down 9%. 16th, up 25%. The 15th of August, up 12.8%. 14th of August, up 8.3%. If we have a look at the chart, this is going to be an insane chart. I would say, just based off the share price movements, traders are all on this one. Whoa, look at that. Oh. Now, there was a massive drop in share price on the 16th of August. Share price dropped 68%. Insane volume. And the share price started to really go higher before any announcements from the company. So let's have a look at 4DS Memory. What have they released that has got the market excited? In fact, this company also received a price query from the ASX on the 16th of August. On the 16th of August is when the share price rose 25% on no news flow. So what's happening here? Loose lips. And then the company went to a trading halt on the 21st of August. And then on 23rd of August, they released an announcement just stating or mentioning megabit success. No idea what that means, but the market loved it. Pretty sure that's the day the share price rose 80% or so. So let's have a look at this megabit success. Successfully incorporated its ReRAM memory cells into the iMac megabit array, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about this. So this is just promise. This is no real significant news, in my opinion. It's just a story at this point in time. So we can confirm whether 40S memory is a story right now just by looking at the Appendix 4C. Do they have any receipts? No receipts. So 40S memory is just story. This company share price will move up and down based off sentiment and sentiment alone. And the sentiment right now is really positive around this company. Now, I don't know the markup, $180 million. And just because if you look at the hourly chart, you're going to see a lot of volatility just on the hourly chart. Actually, see the share price open higher on that day. And for the share price went up to 16 cents. Nice pullback, went from 16 cents down to 10.5 cents, and then the share price is rallying now. And just the very fact the share price was rallying before this announcement is, I think, a bit dodgy. So anyway, I have not had a look at 40S memory. We can, if you don't know a company, you can always just go to the About section here. 40S memory with facilities located in Silicon Valley. So why aren't you this in America? Is a semiconductor development company of non-volatile memory technology, pioneering into blah, 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 blah. I don't know much about this at all. What their technology, potentially this is going to be the next big thing. Maybe the next Weebit Nano or the brain chip. I just don't know. Maybe this is a start of a significant uptrend in this company's share price, which is potentially there. So if you like the story, maybe now is the time to think about buying 4DS memory. Not for me at this point in time. If it is for me, I'll just take a short-term trading position. 40S memory. Up 22.7% today. Good work, 40S memory. Next one I want to talk about is a company I actually recently did a video on, X Reality Group. First sale in the United States. They released this on the Thursday. Operator XR. I do think this company is on the verge, just on the verge of doing interesting things. They did change the name from Indoor Skydive to X Reality to take advantage of the bit of hype in virtual reality, that sort of thing. Is pleased to announce that its US subsidiary has secured its first law enforcement customer in the United States. Now, I don't really react to these sort of announcements either because I have no idea how much money they're going to get from this contract. It could be $1, it could be $5,000 million. Who knows? Although if it was like $5,000 million, they probably would have announced how much it is. So we want to see, all I want to see is this sort of announcement, this sort of news flow help their Appendix 4C, help their cash flow, help their receipts and their revenue go up. So this could be the first of many good announcements from X Reality Group, but I'd like to see proof of concept, proof of the story. And I have seen a lot of times, a lot of companies in the past release news flow like this about their first sales, and it's pretty bad. Not bad, but like the margins they get are really low, and it doesn't really help the business. So just because you have a contract doesn't necessarily mean it's actually a good announcement from the company. And so look, the share price up 6.8%, but the previous day it was down 12%. So yeah, the share price is all over the place with this company. So it is a step in the right direction, but it's not, even though it is a price, how do I say it? Even though it is a price sensitive announcement, it's not the price sensitive announcement that I am really looking for because there are no numbers to it. It's just a contract. We don't know the details of the contract. And just look at the share, well, this is a 1 hour chart. Just look at the daily chart for X Reality Group. It's just all over the place. A lot of volatility, not a lot of volume with this announcement. So even though it's price sensitive, it didn't really have effect on the share price. X Reality Group. Next company is a company that's no longer with us. Should I even talk about it? Sunland Group. So someone actually did mention this. I did actually mention this company in a, so voluntary removal from official list of ASX, return of capital. So Sunland Group is no longer with us. So why is the share price up 0.5%? When are they going to be removed from the official? They will be removed when they give back the capital. So the only reason you buy this is if you want a bit of capital back. Date of this announcement, trading in the 24th of October. There we go. Record date 25th of October. So you have 2 months. You have 2 months to buy shares in Sunlane Group to get back 90 cents. $1.08. I don't understand why the share price is $1.08 and you're going to get back 90 cents. That's weird. If you know why the share price is $1.08, but the return on capital is only 90 cents, love to hear. That's interesting. Now to a company, Raiden Resources. Who's heard of this company before? Hands up. I've never heard of this company before. The share price of this company was up big the last 2 trading days, 58.3% on the 23rd, 31.6% on the 24th, and flat on the 25th, which is actually a good sign. Or maybe they're in a trading hold. Oh, trading hold. Okay. I did not know they were in a trading hold. Let's guess why they're in a trading hold. Capital raising. Capital raising. Yeah. Proposed capital raising. This makes sense. This happens all the time when a company's share price rises. It's 100% in a few days. The management want to take advantage of that share price rise, and they're going to do capital raising. It's smart management. I think some investors might hate it, but it's really smart management. It's good capital management. So the reason why the share price has really taken off was because of an announcement on the 23rd of August, 13-meter wide outcropping pegmatites. Is that how you pronounce it? Defined at Andover South. This has to do with lithium. It's another lithium company. Market getting a little bit too ahead of itself. Market cap of this company, $51 million. The chart probably looks amazing. Too many lithium companies on the ASX right now. I'm telling you right now. This reminds me of uranium back in, when was it, 2007? When there was like 5,000 uranium companies on the ASX because uranium just went through the roof. Look at that chart. It's actually a nice looking chart too. Now then trading hold. If they do it, say at 10% discount to share price, actually I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 20% discount share price, say done at 2 cents. It'd be interesting to see if the market hates it and the share price dives from there. Anyway, lithium, if you love lithium, maybe another company to put onto your watch list. Raiden Resources. Never heard of the company before. Now to two companies. Beston Global. Up 25% today. So these two companies have released announcements today. The first one is Beston Global Food Company. So I've already talked about Costa Group. Now I'm talking about another company. And share price of the company is only 1 cent. I don't know what food they sell. They released a trading update. So this must have been positive. So let's have a look at Beston Food trading update. So in fact, before we have a look at it, let's have a look at the chart. I would say the chart was going to look negative. It's negative. Market cap of this company is $16 million. 2 billion shares on issue. Negative looking chart. So let's have a look at this trading update. Dairy business performance accelerating and delivering resilient results. Net sales, 170 million, up 34%. Gross margins from continuing operations, 26 million, up 175%. So it looks like they sell milk. Milk price paid to dairy farmers. They sell milk to dairy farmers. Total lactoferrin sales, up 172%. Trading EBITDA, up significantly to 4.1 million. So EBITDA positive. So I'm not the biggest fan of food companies, but this looks like it's a fairly positive announcement from Beston Food, another company I don't know much about. Glance through reports. Okay. And the final company I want to talk about is Halo Foods. I might do a standalone video on this company because I did an introduction video for Halo Foods in March of this year, so 5 months ago. And this company has gone into voluntary administration. And I'm going to leave the rest of what I think about Halo Foods and this announcement for my standalone video. So I've just decided I'll do a standalone video on Halo Foods. It's never good to see a company go into voluntary administration. Now, the other announcement I did see here was the divestment of the Healthy Mummy. I actually did open up that and saw they sold the Healthy Mummy for like $500,000 when they bought the Healthy Mummy for something like $20 million 18 months ago. Yes, they bought the Healthy Mummy for over $20 million. I think it's $17 million all up, and then $5 million depending on the performance of Healthy Mummy. So potentially up to $22 million. And they've sold Healthy Mummy for $500,000. This was 2 weeks ago. Now they've gone into voluntary administration. Now, this company does have debt, and that's the reason I always look at Section 7 of the Appendix 4C, which is the debt section. How much debt does a company have? So just wait for the standalone video on Halo Foods. And that's it. I'm not going to talk about any financial year results that were released today or the end of trading on Thursday, which includes Bravura, Accent Group, Aussie Broadband, Pilbara, Pexar, Integrated Research, West Farmers, People In, and Duratec. Might leave that to another video. So look out for a video on Halo Food, another video on some of the financial results released on Friday, the 25th of August. And otherwise, that's it for this video. Have a good day. And don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.